Aloha folks, it is Mark here at the Action Figuratorium with another thrift store toy rescue. That performance piece that you just witnessed there, that Stravinsky-esque dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies that opened this whole fantastic video, that was a 2017 product of Chap Mei, I believe is how it's pronounced. I don't actually know, and if you do know, leave it in the comments. Always looking for more information. But that was a thrift store toy rescue, and it came from the bins specifically. So the reason why I'm going to show it off today is because if you're one of those cats out there and you're into, like, let's say Acid Rain or Joy Toy or the original 3.75-inch G.I. Joes, well, then you're going to want to go out looking for that specific helicopter, and we're going to find out why today. Stick around, folks. So that helicopter came from the bins, and the bins is by weight, which means that it was handed to a guy, put it on a scale, and he said $8, and that's what that came out to. So what I wanted to do, though, before I give a little tour of it, was I wanted to just show you guys that Fawoosh did a little piece on this in 2017. So if you want to go dig up their little article review, this was a Toys R Us special. It was the only place you could get it. It was $50, 2017, back in the day. That wasn't that long ago. Donald Trump was president during that time, and so it wasn't like an entire, age away from us. It was just around the corner. Don't want anybody to think that we're looking at some kind of ancient relic. These guys, in theory, could still be for sale up on a shelf of some small little Indiana toy store or something, for all I know, or maybe in like an antique mall like the one they have here in Milwaukee. But I think what we should do now is let's go over, let's put it up on the board, and let me give you guys a quick walkthrough on this dog, and then just a few closing remarks. We'll make this one short. All right, so this thing is called the Sentinel 1. Actually, the toy line it's from is called Sentinel 1. There's actually quite a few Sentinel 1 vehicles out there available. This is called the U-53 helicopter. If you're looking for it, look for it by that name. On eBay with shipping, they're about $99, plus or minus. You might get lucky, you might get harshed. That's why I suggest you try to find one loose and in the wild at a thrift store or at a garage sale, or who knows, maybe somebody puts an ad on Craigslist or Facebook and they say, I've got a box of toys and there's one of these in there, and it might behoove you to get one of these. So start by saying it's got 5 really good looking helicopter blades on top. They don't fold in or anything like that, not a big deal. They look really good. If you are a customizer, these things will paint very nice. There's also 4 smaller blades in the back. There's a little knob in the back that looks like maybe something goes there, something does not go there. It looks weird. Okay, what you want to probably know is the cockpit. What can you put in it? Well, these take 3.75, guys, and look, we have a pilot right there. It will fit two pilots next to each other. Now, there's a little bit of room in the front here where I don't know what could go in there, if anything, but I have seen photos in that Fawoosh article where he got a 6-inch dude to kind of sit in here like this is his, helicopter for one kind of thing. This pilot actually came with it. We found it at the bins with this, so it seats 2 very comfortably. On the side, they give you a kind of a, like a crane type thing. Interesting, the machine guns say missile on it. I don't know what that means. There's a little thing that flips down, and tray comes out. Now I believe there's some type of a gun that originally came with it. You may or may not get the gun with yours if you find one of these in the wild, but it's got a cool platform, and of course you can have a guy hanging out on the platform if you need to. And goes back in, no problemo. Let's see here. Originally it came with a like a gurney that you would put a dude in and you'd hoist him up with this like a rescue, but now without the gurney, what can I tell you? So interesting. It's got like kind of a little sort of ramp door, and it comes with a little Jeep. And if you find one of these, you may not find the Jeep, or you might actually find the Jeep separate. And if you find the Jeep separate, it might tell you that there's a helicopter nearby. I don't know. But the Jeep's got a driver, and he looks like your typical kind of like a BlackRock security dude. And here's some sort of guy, looks like he got left out of the latest Halo update, and now he's stuck in a Destiny game. And he sits in the back, and you know, these guys cruise around, and they probably go and shoot big game and take photos of it and drive away, is what I'm guessing. But they'll actually go nicely into the back of this. And not a bad spot for them to stay. Of course, on the other side there's a little, I don't know, there's like a little seat and a bunch of computers, like you're going to have your computer whiz kid sits there and does all the navigating, whatever. So what I like about this, of course you guys know it has sounds. We opened with that. What I like about this is that it's kind of almost ready to go. If you had to do some kind of photo shoot with this thing, you could make it work real easy. What I think would be fun would be to add a bunch of details in, you know, paint door handles and little rivets and pieces of metal and the edges and the frames and maybe a wash so that all the little rivets and pieces that come together. But if you're one of those guys who, like, maybe you have Joy Toy or Acid Rain figures, you know, you might want to get one of these and totally repaint it into your own scheme that matches your team, whether it's your own kind of camouflage or your own special kind of flags and insignias or whatever this stuff is. I think the black and white sticker of the tiger on the side is actually kind of lame. That's a little bit of an opinion creeping in. I don't want anybody to be freaked out by that, but it is a thing that just doesn't kind of work with the aesthetic. So I would remove that first of all and replace it with something much cooler, even if that means just printing out your own decals. But the only thing I really want to add to this is that you know, these things are kind of everywhere out there. You just have to sort of look around, open your eyes, and when you see them, jump on it. And it may be a few bucks more than you probably want to spend. Like if you went somewhere and this thing was $12, you might wince. You know, but you got to think that, like, well, what's your chance of finding it again the next day? Probably not going to happen. So you got to go for it when you see it. But there's a lot of these sort of knockoff G.I. Joe looking toys out there that actually cross the finish line as being somewhat kind of cool. So with that, thanks if you stuck to the very end, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.